Hi everyone, I am tsaabitah and I am an electrical engineering student from Institut Teknologi Bandung or ITB. I am very lucky to be the first batch of IISMA awardees to study in Nanyang Technological University or NTU in Singapore. The first time I knew about IISMA was actually through a friend. I was very excited when I see the list of the university because I see NTU, and NTU is one of the top universities in the world. But when I knew about the program, it was actually near the deadline, so I only had a little time to prepare. Moreover, my English test had expired, so I had to retake it. But thankfully, everything went well and I was able to submit everything on time. When I knew I passed for the interview, I was very thrilled but anxious as well, since I don't know what to prepare for the interview. Thus, I tried to review my essay and write down some potential questions that might be asked, as well as exercise my interview ability to answer those questions. When the announcement was out, there were 24 of us who got accepted to NTU. Sadly, because of the rise of the COVID cases in June 2021, we had to postpone the program to the next semester. Long story short, on December 2021, we finally got to meet each other for the very first time in Soekarno-Hatta to take our flight to Singapore. It was surreal for me that I finally got to meet my fellow awardees that I met online, and I didn't believe that I finally got to study at the world-class university. At the time, we had to serve quarantine for 7 days to enter the Singapore. Luckily, our hotel was facing the Singapore River and we can see the beautiful Singapore scenery every day. Our internal team also conducted an online event for us so that we can have fun together virtually. When we arrived at the campus, I was in awe at how big and beautiful the campus was. There were lots of green scenery and beautiful buildings, which makes it very nice to take a walk around the campus. But beware of the weather of Singapore at afternoon. It could be extremely hot sometimes, so do use thin clothing and sunscreen before going out. At first, there were two things that I had to adjust. The first one is Singlish. Their accent is so unique and they tend to speak very fast. Initially, I was quite confused with some terms that they use and also the grammar. It is a mix of English, Mandarin, Malay, and Tamil, so there might be some terms that were quite confusing. But after a while, it feels very natural and efficient to use English. The last one would be the transportation. I love how Singapore transportation is very interconnected. The stations are in walking distance, so everywhere is reachable using the public transport. We started our semester on January 2022. The first class I attended was Environmental Sustainability. I loved how this course not just taught me about the fundamental science behind some aspects that contribute to the environment, but it also gave us real examples of the events and the solutions from around the world. It changed my perspective toward how things should be done as a part of the citizen of the world. The other course that I took was venturing into entrepreneurship. To be honest, it is hands down the best module I have ever taken in my whole 4 years of college. The class was held on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., so it might be a bit tiring, but the activities were challenging yet enjoyable, since we get to directly implement what we learned during class through case studies and discuss them with our classmates and also our prof. Our prof was very helpful and pushed us to be brave in delivering our opinion. As an electrical engineering student, this module helped me in seeing a problem not only to find its solution, but also its value on the market. The last course that I took was computational thinking. I took this course because I wanted to experience the lab activity in NTU. The course was quite challenging for some, but our lecturers made it very interesting. We even got the chance to build a program for a trading system, which is a real implementation of what we learned. In terms of difficulty, I personally think that the modules that I took here are more or less the same with the level of difficulty that I had back home in my home uni, but one thing that I think was the main difference was that here we were urged to be more active, like participating in class discussions and group discussions. It is quite different with my activities in my home uni because my major was engineering, so mostly we would do individual practice questions or lab assignments. But here we are challenged to break our anxiety, to be able to think fastly and critically, to be able to work with multidisciplinary people, as well as to be brave to share opinions. And I think that is a great thing, even though at first we may have some times to adjust. So to do well, I would suggest for you to keep up your studying method and also to improve your proactiveness in learning. Other than that, me and other IISMA awardees also join other activities in NTU. FYI, NTU has a lot of activities for their students, be it sports, cultural activities, personal development, or even cooking class. One thing that really affected me would be my experience working with multicultural and multidisciplinary people. It is interesting to be able to work with people from different backgrounds and to get to know their opinions and perspectives. It interestingly makes me appreciate myself more and my culture even more. One of the most memorable experiences would be to celebrate the Chinese New Year with my faculty mentor's family. It was my first time celebrating the Chinese New Year and understanding how usually Singaporeans celebrate Chinese New Year. The most valuable thing that I earned from IISMA would be the network that I got to build with various people, be it my professors, fellow international exchange students, as well as the NTU students itself. I learned a lot about their perspectives and opinions from our small discussions, and I hope that those bonds are long-term and we get to collaborate again in the future. The thing that I learned from the studying culture in Singapore and I hope we can implement in Indonesia would be the passion for studying from the student as well as from the professors. I really feel that here both the students and the lecturers are very passionate to learn and to teach. Thus, the study environment becomes very alive and I become more enthusiastic during my class. I hope that this liveliness will become a common thing in Indonesian classes. I am officially IISMA biased because I have been given the opportunity to get international exposure and broaden my network with highly educated people from around the world. That is all from me. I hope that my experiences will not just be something that helped me in improving myself, but also encourage you to be bold to go abroad.